Hello, my name is Tan Guan and we are from Group 1. These are my fellow team members, Wong Jet, Yin Xue, Xing Chen, and Rui Lang. And today we are going to talk about our financial and ethical case study analysis of the company SolarTech. SolarTech is a company based in Penang that mainly produce solar panels components. The company estimated earned 25 million in revenue and consists of 250 employees. However, SolarTech faced many challenges as one of the challenges mentioned that the business uses coal-based electricity during production. The company is also male-dominated where 15% or lower are female employees. SolarTech will need to implement new strategies to eradicate the challenges. Now let's move on to the break-even analysis. Before implementing ESG costs, the break-even unit was 1,400,000 units. After implementing ESG costs, it increases to 1,800,000 units, which is relatively close to the units sold by the company. Although SolarTech break-even volume was RM 21 million before implementing ESG costs, the company managed to maintain profit stability. However, after implementing ESG costs, SolarTech break-even volume is RM 27 million, which is slightly lower than the current sales of RM 30 million. This raises concern for SolarTech because the company fixed cost is high, making it harder to maintain stable profit for the business. And now I'll move on to the next person.
Hey, my name is Wong Jet, and I'm going to evaluate and compare the two cost recovery strategies that SolarTech can use to reduce the profit drop caused by the new ESG. As mentioned before, SolarTech's fixed costs were 7 million ringgit before ESG, and the company earned around 3 million ringgit in profit. While after ESG investment, fixed costs increased to 9 million ringgit, reducing profit to 1 million ringgit. This the break-even point rose from 1.4 to 1.8 million units. This show ESG benefits the company for long term, but lower profit in the short term, which is why recovery strategies are needed. Next, in scenario A, SolarTech raises its selling price from 15 to 15 ringgit 40 cent per unit, keeping variable costs at 10 ringgit. The contribution per unit rise to 5 ringgit 40 cent, giving a profit of 1.8 million ringgit. The break-even point drops slightly to 1.67 million units. Financially, this helps recover profit but risks lower demand if customers reject the higher price or turn to competitors. Non-financially, it might make SolarTech appear focused on short-term profit rather than long-term sustainability, which could affect customer trust and reputation. Next. While in scenario B, the price stays at 15 ringgit, but sales increased by 12% to 2.24 million units. The contribution per unit remains 5 ringgit, producing a higher profit of 2.2 million ringgit, while the break-even point stays at 1.8 million units. Financially, it performs better by increasing revenue without raising price, although it may cost higher operating and marketing costs. Non-financially, it can create some production pressure, but overall, it supports SolarTech's ESG image and shows responsible growth. Next. Comparing both strategies, although scenario A raised profit to 1.8 million, but it's more risky if customer resist the price change. While for scenario B, it delivers the higher profit of 2.2 million, making it more stable and sustainable. Although scenario B may face some challenge such as extra costs and extra workloads, these challenges are manageable with careful planning. Therefore, SolarTech should implement the use of scenario B, focusing on expanding sales through marketing and partnership while maintaining its ESG commitment. This option gives the best financial recovery and strengthens the company long-term ethical reputation. And for now, I'll pass it to Xing Chen for the next part.
Hello, I'm Xin Chen. I will present our financial analysis of SolarTech components. I will look at the company's financial health and ethical position as it faced its key ESG challenges. First, we will analyze its cash budget to check short-term equality. Then I will review its break-even point and finally discuss ethical assets. Now, let's move to our first key finding about the cash budget. Our 3-year cash budget forecast shows a serious short-term problem. As you can see from the chart, SolarTech is expected to face a major cash shortage in 2025 with a net cash outflow of negative RM 3.4 million. This big deficit is caused by several issues. A 5% drop in cash income due to harm to its reputation, together with a large 40% rise in operating payments for important ESG investment, like installing solar panels. This negative RM 3.4 million is not just a number. It is a real risk to the company's working capital and its ability to pay its short-term bills. Getting through 2025 is the most important financial challenge for SolarTech transformation. In 2026, the company's finance improved a little with the main ESG investment complete. Big one-time spending has ended. Income also grows by 5% as market trust returns. However, due to ongoing costs from the diversity inclusion plan, total spending is still 20% higher than in 2024. This leads to a small cash surplus of only RM 750,000. Overall, the company is in a recovery phase. By 2027, SolarTech's cash flow shows a steady growth. Income increased by 7%, helped by its improved reputation and new contracts. Operating expenses rise by only 5%, bring net cash flow to RM 1,186,500. Although it still has costs for equipment maintenance and training, the overall cash situation is much better and the company is moving into a positive cycle. So let's move to Inxue to continue the next part.
Hello, I'm Inxue. Let's break down the sustainability outlook across these 3 periods. In the short term of 2025, the company is in a cash consumption phase. The primary risks are the erosion of working capital and potential short-term solvency issues. Moving to the medium term in 2026, we see a stabilization. The one-time ESG investments are complete, and as market confidence begins to recover, cash flow turns positive, allowing the company to reach a critical break-even point. Finally, in the long term, from 2027 onwards, we project that ESG compliance will transform from a cost center into a tangible competitive advantage. The improved brand reputation and new contracts are expected to drive stronger cash supplies, ensuring long-term financial health and positioning SolarTech as a leader in the sustainable energy sector. Next. To bridge the anticipated cash shortfall in 2025, we propose a 4-pillar strategic response. First, internal optimization. We recommended phasing non-critical projects and strictly controlling administrative expenses to preserve cash. Second, external financing. SolarTech should actively seek green loans and ESG-specific subsidies to fund its transformation with low-cost long-term capital. Third, working capital management. This involves aggressively collecting accounts receivable and optimizing payment terms to improve liquidity efficiency. And fourth, cost control. It's crucial to rigorously check the actual cost savings from energy efficiency measures, ensuring that ESG investments contribute positively to the bottom line as quickly as possible. Together, this comprehensive strategy is designed to safeguard the company's financial health while enabling it to fulfill its ESG commitments. This concludes the cash budget and compliance challenge section of our presentation. I will pass to the next person.
Hi, I'm Ray. I will talk about the ESG ethical problem. SolarTech is facing a big problem, a fight between making profit and doing what is right. Even though it works in renewable energy, the company still uses a lot of coal power, which causes very high carbon emissions. Also, there is very low diversity in the company. Less than 15% of the workers are women, and almost none are in the management. These issues already hurt its reputation and may cause contract loses. So doing ESG is no longer a choice, it's an ethical duty. Next. Now let's see the financial side. To fix these problems, SolarTech plans to spend 2 million ringgit on solar upgrades and diversity programs, but the 2025 budget shows a cash outflow of 3.4 million ringgit. Because of higher costs or lower income, this may push management to delay ESG projects to save money. However, that would be a big mistake. If the company delays action, it could lose trust, clients, and investors. So, ESG spending should not be seen as a cost. It is really a long-term investment in trust and sustainability. Next. Our CVP results show something positive. Even after spending on ESG, solar tech still makes 1 million profit ringgit. In scenario A, if prices go up a little, profit becomes 1.8 million. And in scenario B, if sales increase by 12%, profit grows to 2.2 million. So ESG doesn't destroy profit, it just changes when we get it. This means doing good and doing well can happen together. Next. So how can solar tech stay strong and responsible? The answer is responsible resilience. The company should keep its ESG promises even when money is tight. It can manage cash by using green financial like ESG loans or government support. It should spend in small phases and use strong cash control. Also, publishing annual ESG reports can help build trust and transparency. In short, SolarTech doesn't have to choose between profit or ethics. It just needs to combine both because doing the right thing today builds a stronger, trusted company tomorrow. Thank you very much.